Hello everybody, welcome back to Drawing the Weather. Today I want to show you how to draw a moonlit sky. Alright, so let's get started. So the first step in this drawing is to sharpen a woodless graphite pencil or a graphite stick over the paper. And then once you've done that, you can blend the graphite shavings into the paper with a napkin or cloth or some kind of tissue. I prefer to use my trusty napkin. So the first layer that I applied to the top of the page here wasn't as dark as I wanted it to be. So I went in with another layer and blended that in. And then I went across the top of the page with the graphite pencil and blended that in with the napkin. Alright, so now onto the moon. So I basically just erased a circle for the moon with an eraser pencil. I tried to make the moon, or the circle, the best I could. After a few layers of erasing, I went in with a dusting brush and brushed away the eraser filings. So now onto the clouds. So I used a retractable eraser initially for the first clouds, and this created soft looking clouds, which was what I was going for anyways. But this is the first time using this kind of eraser for this drawing, and I really liked how it turned out. So the clouds that are closest to the moon are going to be brighter than the clouds that are further away. I'm just creating just the big puffy cumulus clouds. I also created a little bit of a glow around the moon and some stringy clouds up near there as well. So once I created the initial clouds, I went in with the eraser pencil to help define the clouds a little better. Meanwhile, also keeping them relatively soft. And as I worked my way away from the moon, I made the clouds a little bit. I tried to make them fade into the sky, basically. That was my main goal with this. And before I forget, I should probably add the horizon so I know where the bottom of the sky is. So then I go in with the 6B pencil and start creating the shadows of the clouds. I'm just using circular motions and a little bit of back and forth or hatching motions. Just basically filling everything that's in between the highlights. And I kind of let that fade into the sky on either side. And I also try to make sure that there's some pretty relatively dark shadows near the brighter highlights just to create that contrast. And then I go in with the blending stump to blend it all together. And I first blend the shadows just to smooth it all out, and then I go over the highlights lightly, though, with the blending stump. This, of course, dulls the highlights a little bit, but I'm able to go back in with the eraser pencil to refine those clouds, to redefine the highlights. I just throw some more clouds up there by the moon. So then I created some clouds a little bit further in the distance. However, those ended up getting blended into the sky because I decided to lower the cloud bases of the clouds a little bit closer. Mainly because I tried to make the sky beneath it a little bit darker. Because I didn't think the sky was as dark as it needed to be. I was also trying to create like a faded look, having the clouds sort of fade downward, along with fading outward as well, away from the moon. Alright, so now I'm adding a tree line, and I really like how bright the horizon is. And the horizon is lighter, or the sky is lighter near the horizon, both in the daytime and at night. Of course, it'd be a little bit brighter with the full moon. But it creates kind of like an eerie glow, and almost like a mist or something. You know, like a late night fog rolling in the distance. Something like that. So I'm using a 6B pencil as well for the trees. And I darken it a little bit, and I also create the field that's a little bit closer, kind of in the middle ground, with the 6B as well, using horizontal strokes. But first I'm just darkening the trees. So it's just simple horizontal back and forth strokes. So then I blend that in with the blending stump, and I try to make the transition between the trees and the field not very defined. Because it's at night, so there wouldn't be really much of a... trying to make it duller. I don't know what I'm trying to say. To make the transition not very well defined, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So then I decided to, for just some interest, to put a tree in the very close foreground. And basically my goal was to sort of silhouette it, have it silhouetted against the night sky. And I'm using the Woodless Graphite pencil for this. And basically, it's the darkest part of the drawing. Because, you know, atmospheric perspective, things that are closer are going to be darker than things that are further away. And so I basically go back and forth with the pencil and the eraser pencil, because I wanted to create some highlights on the tree. However, I also go back in lightly over the highlights with this graphite to tone them down a little bit, because I didn't want the tree to be... I wanted the tree to be, like I said, kind of silhouetted against the night sky. Of course, I think the night sky could have been darker, so I should have used another layer of graphite powder, or graphite shavings. And just brushing away some of the eraser filings and stuff and smoothing it out. And then some final touches on the tree. And that's the completed image. So I hope you enjoyed. And in the next episode, I want to do the Foggy Landscape Part 2. A more kind of a more mountainous scene. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, like this video. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I also have my own website and DeviantArt. And I haven't really posted too much on those two sites, but I hope to try to get some more stuff up there soon. Alright, so I'll see you next time.